Taking some time now to settle the body, making sure that you are sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position and the spine is straight, head and neck are in line with the spine. The shoulders are back and down, but relaxed just to open up the chest area, including the lungs. Closing the eyes gently. Placing the hands on the knees in a mudra of your choice, which could be with the first finger to the base of the thumb and the palms facing up or down. And take a long, deep inhalation now. And as you exhale, release all the events that have happened for you today. And take another long, deep inhalation now. A long, deep yogic breath in. And this time, when you exhale, release all of the conversations and interactions that you've had today, and whatever form they may have taken, in person, on the phone, in a digital space. Just let them all go now. You don't need to think about them at all. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything you need to do outside of this class. And just give yourself the gift of being present. There's nothing else you need to do right at this moment except to be present, being right here, right now for this class. And returning now just to the natural breath and observing the natural breath at the nostrils. And observe how the natural breath fills the abdomen with air and then the chest with air on the inhalation. And then on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. And in a moment, we'll gently move the awareness through the body. And as you do this, observe how you're feeling at this moment and also identify and make note of any pain or irritation or soreness you may have, just so when we're doing the class, if something isn't right for you, if a posture isn't right for you, listen to your body, and you could either do something else or you could visualize the practice, because that can be just as effective. So it's all about honoring where you are right now. So move the awareness now to the soles of the feet and gently moving the awareness up through the feet and into the shins and the calves and up through the knees and into the thighs and the buttocks. And now up through the fingers and the hands and the wrists, up through the forearms to the elbows, and up to the upper arm to the shoulders. And now moving the awareness up through the torso and up through the back, right up through the spine until you reach the neck. Moving the awareness now up through the neck to the back of the head, to the crown of the head, and also up through the face. And then gently rest the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, to begin the class, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti, and I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to and protect our practices, and to pay respect between teacher and student, student and teacher, so we can all learn together without ill will. We're breathing in now for Om chanting. Om. 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinadvadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. And we'll begin the class by coming to the base position, Parambik Sthiti, bringing the legs out in front of the body with the hands behind the buttocks with the fingers pointing away. And just take a few moments just to rest in the position with the eyes closed, making sure the spine is straight. And we'll begin with ankle rotations. So for this practice, just moving the feet from the ankles together in a clockwise direction. Inhale and then exhale as you bring the feet down, and then rotating around, inhaling on the upward movement, exhaling on the downward movement, completing 5 rounds in each direction. The aim is to try and coordinate the breath with the movement and placing the awareness in the ankle joints, just observing the effects of the practice while that you are doing it. And after your final round, cease movement of the ankles and feet. And again, observe what's happening in that ankle area as a result of the practice. We'll move now to the knee. So we'll begin with the right knee, and this is a knee rotation. So bringing the foot in front of the buttock, the right foot, clasping the hands underneath the knee, and again, just checking your posture so that your spine is straight, lifting the foot off the floor, and then begin to move the bottom half of the leg in a clockwise direction. Again, inhaling on the upward movement, exhaling on the downward movement, completing 5 rounds in each direction, and observing again, placing the awareness in the knee joint, the right knee, to see what's happening with this practice. Once you've finished, in your own time, of course, 5 rounds in each direction, bring the foot back to the floor and then unclasp the hands from the knee and gently move the leg along the floor just to come out of the practice to protect the knee. And then take a few moments to observe the difference between the right knee and the left knee, and then complete the same practice on the left leg. So bringing the left foot in front of the buttocks, clasping the hands underneath the knee, lifting the bottom half of the leg off the floor, and then again moving the bottom half of the left leg in a clockwise direction for 5 rounds, observing the movement of energy in the knee, coordinating the breath with the movement, making it a slow, smooth, steady movement. And once you've finished your final round, taking your own time, placing the left foot back on the floor and then guiding the leg along the floor. Come back to base position, close the eyes, and just observe the effects of the practice on both knees. Next, we'll move to a hip rotation. So again, bringing the right foot in front of the right buttock, then bringing the knee out to the right. You can either put the sole of the foot on the inside of the left thigh or place it on top of the thigh, whatever works best for you. Clasp the left hand on the right foot on the top and then the right hand on the knee. You'll be using the right hand to guide the knee in a clockwise circular motion. You can take your foot off the thigh if that's easier to guide it. So rotating the hip, 5 rounds in each direction. Again, inhaling on the upward movement, exhaling on the downward movement, and just doing what is right for you. You can do large circles or small circles, whatever works with your body. And just observe, place your awareness in that hip joint just to observe what's happening from this practice. It can be quite a strange movement if you've never done it before, so that's quite normal. And as you reach your final round, taking your own time, but the best way to come out of this practice is to bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh and then bring the knee up and slide the leg across the floor. Just helps to protect the knee. And before you move to the left side, take a few moments, observe any differences between right and left, and then begin the practice on the left side of the body. So bringing the left foot in front of the buttock, bringing the inside of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh, or placing the left foot on the top of the thigh, again in a clockwise motion, guiding the left knee with the left hand. The right hand is on the left foot, really trying to open up that hip. 5 rounds in each direction. placing the awareness in the opening of the hip. And when you're ready, come out of it in the same way, bringing the left sole of the left foot to the right thigh, raising the knee up, and then gently moving the foot along the floor, back to base position again, and just observe not only the hips, but observe what's happening in the ankles and the knees, and now the hips. Our next practice will be Tatali Asana, the butterfly posture. So bring both feet in front of the buttocks and then allow the knees to move out towards the soles of the feet together, clasping the hands around the feet and allowing the knees to fall towards the floor. Again, checking your posture, making sure you're sitting up straight. Inhale, bring the knees to the arms. Exhale, bring the knees towards the floor. Complete 10 rounds in this way. Inhaling on the upward movement, exhaling on the downward movement, allowing the release, not pushing or straining in any way, but just observing how the hip naturally opens a little bit more with each round of this practice. And as you come to the end of the practice in your own time, bringing the knees together and guiding the feet along the floor again, back to base position. And again, observe all the movement of energy that's sort of flowing around your bottom half of your body right now from the practices so far. And we'll move now to the upper body. So we'll begin with keeping in the theme of rotations. We'll do wrist rotation. So bringing the hands out at shoulder height, putting the thumbs on the palms and placing the fingers around the thumbs into fists. Inhale, and then just moving the hands from the wrists. Rotate the hands, the fists around. Exhaling on the downward movement. And complete 5 rounds in each direction. Again, observing the effects of the practice, what's happening in the wrists as you complete each round. After your final round, Rest the hands back on the knees. And again, just observe the effects. Next, we'll do shoulder rotations. So checking your posture, placing the right hand on the right shoulder, left hand on the left shoulder, bringing the elbows together in front of the body. Inhale, bringing the elbows up, back, and down. Exhaling on the downward movement, bringing the elbows together in front of the body again. Complete 5 rounds in total in this direction, and then another 5 in the opposite direction. And really slowing it down and observing the release of muscles in the tops of the shoulders. I include this posture at nearly every class because it's just such an effective way to release any tension in everyday situations, such as when you are sitting at your desk for long periods of time, or when you're driving, but clearly not as you are driving, but when you manage to stop safely. It's just a real circuit breaker that really helps. And once you've completed those rounds, again, putting the arms and the hands back gently on the knees. We'll next do a neck rotation. Before we go into this, please be very mindful and careful and just check out your own range of movement in the first few rounds just to see what you can do and avoid pushing or straining in any way. The movement should be very smooth and flowing. So to begin, again, checking your posture. Inhale, and then as you exhale, bring your chin to the chest, and then gently bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhaling as you bring the head back behind the body. Exhale as you bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And exhale as you bring it down to the front again. So this is 1 round. Complete 5 or up to 5 in each direction. Remember, really listen to your body and just move within your range of movement. And observe the release of the muscles in the neck on each side as you do this rotation. We'll now move to a standing position, but as we do, we'll do a practice on the way up. So again, just work within your range of movement, but as we get up to a standing position, allow the top half of the body to hang over the bottom half of the body. You can either just let the arms flop by the soles of the feet, or you could even clasp them behind your knees, holding each elbow. But the main thing is just to allow gravity to do its work. And then when it's right for you, very gently roll up to a standing position. Now, when you're standing, just check that the feet are hip width apart. Allow the arms to hang loosely by the sides. Ensure there's balance between the right and the left side, and the spine is straight, like we did sitting down. Shoulders are back and down, but relaxed, and the head and neck are in alignment. And with the eyes closed, just allow your body to be steady and comfortable. Feel the ground or the floor beneath your feet and feel steady and comfortable. And now bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Cross the wrists in front of the body. And inhale and bring the crossed arms up above the head. stretching up through the torso. Exhale, open up with the palms facing up at shoulder height, stretching out through the fingers and opening up the chest with that inhalation. And then exhalation as you bring the arms above the head again, crossing at the wrists. And then exhale, bringing the crossed arms in front of the body again. This is one round. Complete another 4 rounds. Really slowing it down. And when you actually open the arms, tilt the head back just a little. It just adds to the expansive nature of the opening of the chest in that particular part of the posture. And after your 5th round, again, taking your own time, just come back to a standing Shavasana. But make it slow. Again, coordinating the breath with the movement for that body, breath, mind connection. And take a few moments just to feel the effects of that practice. Our next practice, bring your legs again a bit further than hip width apart and clasp the fingers together in front of the body with the palms facing down. This is Tiryak Tadasana, which is the swaying palm tree pose. So inhale and bring the arms, make sure they're straight above the head, stretching up in the middle. Exhale, you may like to point the, sort of dig the left foot into the floor. And as you exhale, lean over to the right. Now, it's important that you sort of imagine yourself between 2 sheets of glass, so you're not going forward or back, you're in line and the arms are straight. And just go to where is right for you. So not pushing or hurting in any way. Inhale back to center, stretch up in the middle. Exhale and then point and dig the right foot into the floor as you bring the straight arms over to the left, feeling that stretch up the right side of the body. And then back to center. This is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds. And once you've completed the practice, again, come back to standing Shavasana and just allow the body to rest and observe the energy moving around the body as a result of that practice. Our final asana will be a balancing posture. We'll do the one-legged prayer pose. So find a point on the wall that is steady, that will not move. And we'll begin with the right leg. So bring your weight onto the right leg. You can either bring the sole of the left foot to the ankle, if that's where you're at, or in the inside of the calf. If you can go higher than that on the leg, that's fine, but don't put it on the inside of the knee because that can cause some damage. So gazing ahead, bring the foot, the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg where is right for you, and then bring the palms together in front of the body. If you're steady in this position, aim to bring the palms above the head and hold for your own duration. We'll complete up to 3 rounds on each side. Just working with your own body's range of movement, and it can vary from day to day. Ooh, like that. And once you've finished your balancing posture, you can now lie down in Shavasana. Again, taking your own time. And we'll do some pranayama, some breath work lying down in Shavasana, and then move straight into Yoga Nidra. So it's a good idea just to make sure that you're warm enough and have everything you need so that you can seamlessly transition from pranayama into Yoga Nidra, so that you're warm enough and comfortable. And so lying down now in Shavasana, making sure that the legs are hip width and all tensions released, and that the feet are just flopping to the sides. The palms are facing up and the arms are a little bit away from the body. Your spine is straight. And to check that your head and neck are in alignment, you might like to tuck your chin in just a little, just to test it. Now bring your awareness to the natural breath. Observe the natural breath at the nostrils and observe how the natural breath fills the abdomen with air and then the chest with air. And then on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. And tonight's breath practice will be Viloma. So we've practiced this before. It's a great practice to help to regulate the breath and to increase the lung capacity. And some of my students actually use it when they find, if they wake up in the middle of the night and find it challenging to get back to sleep. They've learned to actually use this practice and they said it actually helps them to get back to sleep. So that might be something you can use too if you experience that. So with Viloma, it's a long, deep yogic breath in. So a yogic breath is where you fill the abdomen with air like a balloon, and then the chest to capacity as well, and then the upper chest. So it's a very big breath. But how you approach Viloma is that it's known as a staggered breath. So we'll do it in 2 different ways. In the first 3 rounds of the practice, when you breathe in a full deep yogic breath, you will breathe in a little bit and pause, breathe in further, pause, and then complete the exhalation. And then it's just one long exhalation out. So it's a staggered inhalation, one complete exhalation. So complete that 3 times. And then for the other 3 rounds, you'll do the opposite. So for After you've completed the staggered inhalation, you will then complete a long, deep yogic breath in, and then the exhalation will be staggered. So you'll breathe out a little bit, breathe out a little bit more, and then complete the exhalation. So 3 rounds of the staggered inhalation, and then 3 rounds of the staggered exhalation, and then return to the natural breath. And now prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra. Take a long, deep inhalation, another long, deep yogic breath. But this time, when you exhale, just a normal yogic breath, no pauses. But as you exhale, release your body into the floor. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release any remaining expression on the face. Unclench your jaw. Check that you're not clenching the muscles behind your eyes. Just let everything go. And feel the body's contact with the floor. Feel the contact of the body against the floor. Begin to feel the heels against the floor and the back of the legs against the floor. Feel the buttocks against the floor. Feel the backs of the hands and the arms against the floor. Feel the back and the vertebrae of your spine against the floor. Feel the back of the neck against the floor and the back of the head against the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact complete one singular plane of contact between the body and the floor. And begin to hear sounds. Observe the sounds around you first, way off in the distance. And as you do this, don't try and identify the sound, just move your awareness from sound to sound as you hear it. And now move your awareness to sounds just outside the room that you're in. Again, just moving your awareness from sound to sound. And now move your awareness to sounds inside the room that you are in, using the same approach, moving the awareness from sound to sound. And move the awareness now to sounds inside the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. And now move the awareness to the sound and sensation of the natural breath. Release the breath awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space because it can emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body. Listen for my instructions, and as I repeat the name of a body part, place your awareness there, visualize that body part, and mentally repeat the name of that part. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And we'll move now to the left side of the body with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And we'll move now to the back of the body with the heels, back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the back of the head. And moving around now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows and the eyebrows center, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the cheeks, the lips, the chin, the throat, the collarbones, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, and the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, and both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, and the whole body. Have a sense now, all at once, the whole body. Release the body rotation and bring the awareness back to the natural breath. Observe the natural breath at the nostrils and how subtle it's become. And observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. We'll now add a visualization to the natural breath in the following way. On the inhalation, visualize blue, calm, peaceful light. So on the inhalation, you are inhaling peace and stillness. On the exhalation, you are releasing anything that does not serve you, anything that disturbs you, anything that upsets you. Let it all go with the exhalation. So inhaling blue, peaceful light, exhaling anything that does not serve you. And if the mind wanders, as it can, use the breath like an anchor and bring it back to the practice. Release the breath visualization now, and instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy that it's pressing against the floor. It feels like it's made out of concrete or lead, and it feels so heavy, it feels like it may even fall through the floor. The body's feeling heavier and heavier, and it's pressing against the floor. Release this feeling of heaviness now and replace it instead with a feeling of lightness. The body is feeling lighter and lighter. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor. The body feels so light, it feels like it may drift away at any moment, just like a cloud in the blue sky. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, like it's barely touching the floor. Release this feeling of lightness now and replace it instead with a feeling of coldness. The body's feeling colder and colder. The body feels like it's outside on an icy winter's day. The icy wind whips through your clothing and chills you to the bone. Your nose feels numb. Your hands and feet feel numb. The body's feeling colder and colder, like it's outside on an icy winter's day. And release this feeling of coldness now. Replace it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels so hot, it feels like it's in a sauna and someone just turned the heat up. Heat radiates from the abdomen throughout the body. The face feels flushed, and the hands and the feet feel clammy and sweaty. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, just like it is sitting in a sauna and someone turned the heat up. Release this feeling of heat now. Release all of these sensations completely and allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. And instead come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize, and create the following objects and images. You can see a candle flame. A candle flame with a still light, a steady candle flame. But you can see this candle flame because you're sitting in front of a mirror and you see this candle flame in your heart space. And feeling curious to see if anyone else has this steady candle flame in their heart space, you begin to walk through your family home and you see your loved ones all with a steady candle flame in their heart space. So you decide to leave your home to see if anyone else has a steady candle flame. And as you walk out through your neighborhood, everyone you meet and everyone you pass has that candle flame. They could be, the candle flame could be held by a different lantern. Its lantern may be foggy. It may vary in some ways, but there always is a candle flame in everybody's heart space, even if it's a little bit duller than some are duller than others, it's still there. And so you wonder if it's like this everywhere, and you're able to then hover up above the clouds, up from the ground, right up into space. And so now you're up in space, and as you look down onto the earth below, it is just one steady candle flame. So you can see that everybody has a steady candle flame in their heart space. Even if everyone is very, very different, this is one thing that brings us all together. And feeling hopeful and joyous with this discovery, it's time to come back down from space through the clouds, down to the ground. As you walk through your neighborhood and see others with their heart space candle flame, then walk back into your home and see your family and see theirs as well, and come back to the mirror where you can gaze upon your steady candle flame in your heart space. And it's time now to lie down on the mat and call to mind your Sankalpa, positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space because it may emerge on its own. And begin to feel your breath again in your body. And allow the breath to deepen just a little And as you do, observe the movement the breath makes in the body. Observe how when you inhale, the breath moves the back against the floor. And observe how you're feeling at this moment. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. So begin to remember the details of the room that you are in, the floor and the ceiling. Observe and remember the color of your coverings and the color of your mat and your clothing. Remember the time of day and begin to hear the sounds around you and remember the world attached to those sounds. Begin to make small movements with the fingers and the toes, allowing the body to gently externalize. Begin to move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may like to roll onto your right side for a few moments. And before you do that, you may even want to gently move your head from side to side. Just allowing the body to gently wake up, but not fully. Moving very slowly and consciously. And then when it's right for you, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, gently come up into a sitting position. The aim is to try and maintain this peaceful state that you've created. So moving slowly. And then in a sitting position, we'll do what we did at the beginning of the class and gently move the awareness through the body. Again, this time you'll compare how you feel now to when you began the class. So placing the awareness in the soles of the feet and gently moving the awareness up through the legs, observing all the places that we focused on throughout the class, up through the hips, up through the fingers and the hands, up through the arms to the shoulders, up through the torso and up through the back. But this time, going up the back of the body, the back of the neck, the back of the head to the top of the head, and then down through the face, down through the front of the neck, and then gently resting the awareness at the heart space. And at this space, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the practice. Breathing in. Om. 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.